me take the time out to say a pleasant good morning to listeners and viewers of Classic Radio and GBN TV. Welcome to The Point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be around with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. It's Friday, the 20th day of June, 2025. Good morning to one and all once again. It's one of those days when, when a holiday comes like that's within the week like that. Kind of shows you off, huh? Yeah, and everything. Anyway, but those of you who are up and about and doing what you have to do this morning, best wishes goes out to you. Certainly hope that your day thus far is going the way that you would like it to. Folks, we're going to have an open line edition of To The Point for today, which means that you listeners and viewers out there, you have the option of calling in, sharing your views, sharing your concerns this morning. I'm certainly going to be all ears this morning and listening to you in terms of what you would like to bring to the fore this morning. Feel free to do so on today's edition of To The Point. Let's say good morning to those of you on our YouTube channels. Good morning to you. I don't think we have the Facebook page up this morning. There's a little bit of an issue there, so you may, those of you usually listen and view us via the Facebook page, or apology for that, you may have to do so via the YouTube channels. All right, feel free to go there and listen and view the program. Once again, 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's get to see who's going to get the ball rolling this morning in terms of calling in, sharing your views, sharing your concerns of a particular issue you may like to speak about. I'm over here for solutions. Hey, man, if we do this, that will solve the problem. And there are folks who may be able to do that, and have that thought mind pattern or thought pattern per se, that you could come up with that solution to a particular issue that we may be having out there. 435-2041. Once again, the WhatsApp is up and running. You have the option of doing that there. Also via the WhatsApp, if you want to send a message via the WhatsApp, I will certainly read it out. Do that. You could do that. They also have that option. Or you can call me directly, 435-2041. And so let's see, we get the ball rolling this morning with who's going to be our first caller on today's program. So I hope all is well with everyone this morning. And you're feeling okay. And of course, you rested yesterday. Those of you who did the planting and so forth. There's a day for folks to take the opportunity to do that. Yeah, I've never done that before. Anyway, let's hear from you this morning. Probably there's an interesting conversation you want to get started this morning, the way you feel about something that's going on our beautiful trial, and that you want to get a conversation rolling off of that. Feel free to do so. To the Point, open line edition this morning. Am I sensing some cold feet this morning? Who's going to get that ball rolling? 435-2041. The lines are opened to you now, listeners and viewers out there. And so no one is hitting it off as yet. Not sure what the reasons why behind that, but feel free to give me that call. We're moving down to just around 6 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour this morning. And once again, if you do have a particular issue that you may like to bring to the fore this morning, feel free to do so. Certainly all ears, and certainly would like to hear from you this morning. So let's get that rolling off this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number this morning. Those of you on the GOB, good morning to you also. If you are, of course, settled in already, or just getting things started off at your workplace, probably would have been there for 9 o'clock this morning. You've been there a couple of minutes already earlier, and you're already settling. Good morning. Those of you probably just rushing in. It happens. It's something about Friday and work. I know what it's like. And you're just getting in. Good morning to you. Drivers on our nation's roads, I'd always make that appeal to you. Make sure that, you drive along with that due care and attention. Look out for other road users as you drive along. All right? And you should have a smooth sailing, of course, of your commute wherever you plan on being today. All right, 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of today's program. The lines are now open. I think for some reason my line was engaged for some reason or the other. Not sure how that happened, but just had took notice of that. So it's now cleared, which means you have the option of calling. If you were trying to call and you weren't getting through, that was some issue there. Somehow the line was engaged for some reason or the other. Let's take our first caller. Caller live. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How is everything?
I'm doing great. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm best. I'm living the best by the whole world. Nice.
That's good, man. That's good. That's so good.
So yeah, so the Ministry of tourism, I think in the gardens, I think.
The Ministry of Tourism. They have something in the gardens.
They have some connection with people who cut the grass and in the gardens and things there.
Mm-hmm.
They cut the grass since Sunday. And they leave all the debris on the sidewalk in Park Day.
Mm-hmm.
All the debris from the grass, all the branches and everything, they leave on the sidewalk. Up here, still on the sidewalk still.
But I think there's also a third party that comes to collect it, right?
Yeah, but then it should be up on the sidewalk, all the debris, the grass and all the stick and people don't be walking and they push over that side of the road. But all the stuff on the side of the road is still, why they should do that?
I understand how you feel. Well, certainly hope that get cleared up. Hope we get that get cleared up today, right? Hopefully we get cleared up today. Give them, of course.
The oil is right now. You can't clean. I didn't clean between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You think you can clean today, Brittany?
But how long? I mean, how you spoke, I was getting the impression that probably happened yesterday.
Since Sunday?
Since Sunday of last week.
Sunday
of this week. Sorry.
They cut the grass and then.
Sunday. All right. Well, that should have been taken care of already.
Yeah, they live on the sidewalk.
Okay.
They're looking good.
Okay.
So you pay them to clean to do it, work and clean the area one time when you finish. But
I understand that. Well,
they're looking good like that.
Now that you have brought it to the attention of the authorities, hope they'll get someone to go out and then have it removed today. Hopefully that could be done today or before.
Yeah, I don't know what's the pastor let somebody walk around town. Now what's up?
Mm-hmm.
I told him in the office, I told him that I'm in the way for the pastor and they're listening. Let somebody from the Nawasa company walk around town and see a pipe leaking. There's a pipe leaking all about town for months and weeks and months and months, and then we paint it. A woman called on the radio, go on the district and say a pipe. So we should live in about 6 months now.
Yes, I remember that. That was on Wednesday of this week. Someone called in.
Why now? We're wasting water in Greenup for so long. And if you owe them all the money, cut it up and charge you more to connect it back. Like we power in the gangster dealing with. You owe them less and they cut you up for a little money and they charge you more to connect it. And that's what I'm wasting all about now. Wasting water, pipe, months and months and months and no repair. Right now, the pipe
what do you think is the reason for that? Is it limitation in terms of the repair crew? Are there a limited amount of repair crews to go around?
Put men to work on things. Put men to work to repair the pipes. That's simple.
No, I'm asking you, do you think it's because there's a limited amount of the crew that go around to doing repairs? Is it that the problem, you think?
Yeah, well, still, if you don't have enough, put men to work. The pipe in Parak right now, the main road, they repair that about 9,000 times.
It may not be as simple as just put men to work, eh? It may not be that simple. Folks don't know what they're going out to do.
No, listen, if a pipe bus in Parak, the pipe bus in the main road, by we see them about 99 times. If we plan the thing, bus again. They have a whole problem in the main road. And I show you have a big swimming pool now while they come. Because they patch it and they busting. So what they doing underground, not properly the pipe leaking still, so water coming up. So you have a hole right now, you'll be a big swimming pool now while they come.
All right.
Tell them to put men to walk and get pipe fixed up all over Greenup, man. Now it's up pretty full.
All right. Well, I certainly hope they hear you this morning and they will do something about it.
I talked to them now months and months and listen to me. But listen to me for a while. I never meet a busting by she at time in Paro. She won't pay $1 billion now. I told them about it. I got people that came on the radio about it. You know what time they're going to pay the pipe? Twist them. All under my house is water, bust all the wall and it goes in the garden. The garden flowing the water. I tell them about calling the radio, I tell them about you know what time they're going to pay? Twist time.
All right.
In 2 weeks' time, now I start wasting too much water in Grenada. And they charging people too much money, cut you up and charge for connection more than what you owe them.
Well, certainly hope with you speaking out this morning again, we hope we see some improvement to that. All right?
No, listen at all.
Take it easy, man. Have a good day and what's left of it and a great weekend to come. All right?
Best weekend.
You too, man. All right. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. We do have another caller. Caller, hey, live. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir. How you doing?
I hope a lot of people are listening to me, even if I'm not so educated. Everybody wants to be recognized. And we have a lot of square pegs in wrong hole. People long ago and up to today have been placed in position which they have no skill in carrying out the works meted out to them. So that is why we have so many problems in Grenada. People have been placed, perhaps, I'm using the word perhaps, but I'm not here.
You want to give some examples of the square pegs and wrong holes as you mentioned?
All right, let me give you one example. maybe in the broadcasting field.
Are you really? Are you throwing? Are you trying to technically throw that out of me?
No. It could be, you could be involved. I didn't say you are involved. But people are saying that let me see certain things that are not true. For example, let's say the minister says that, and this is how they interpret it. I have written down something, but I cannot get it now. So maybe in the next few days I'll tell you. They're saying things that are not being said by the minister. And this is the problem. When you're giving news, you must be, well, not you, sorry. When one gives news, he must be specific. He must give the reality, not what he thinks. He could get it firsthand, and when you get second-hand news is not really news. I always say you, but you are referring to one must get news, and it should be authentic. It should be true as the gospel. Imagine, we have a lot of concepts that have been misinterpreted. For example, the word education. As I already said, education is not being able only to fix a fridge. It's the all-round development of the individual. Know how to relay to the customer. Know how to, the amount to charge him. This is what it is, the good relationship with the customer, so that you would have to come back. Or the customer would call him back, not getting vexed with him and say $50 for a work that worth $2. Or because he wants to build a house, you charge him $1 million and you cannot build the house. I could say more. We have a lot of problem in Grenada. I don't know if because people are attached to minister education, minister whatever it is, agriculture. They cannot do the work, but they want big work and big money. I don't know who. You have people perhaps in the broadcasting field too, because they're abusing syntax and prosody and all them kind of thing. The rules of the grammatical rules. Thank you.
Have a good morning, sir. 435-2041, 435-2041. The lines are open to you this morning. It's an open line edition up to the point. We're moving down to 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Call your live. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT. How are you?
I'm doing good.
To your viewers and your listeners. And I always say, it's always a pleasure. It's like you are good therapy for a lot of us. Once on the way. I mean, we may not agree with you at sometimes or you understand, but generally, you're a good guy.
Thank you. Let's hear from you.
I hope I'm not trying to flatter you. But anyway, just to add a little bit to what your last caller was talking about, the problems we have in this, well, not just in Grenada, but in the world. People are not educated about their own self, their own being, how they affect other people. They're only thinking about themselves. And unfortunately, in a way, they are not responsible for becoming how they are because they've been conditioned. But at the same time, they are responsible for how they affect people now. So that's why they have to work on themselves. And most people don't want to because it's painful. I mean, we talk about, this person should do that and that person should do this, and we do the opposite. You call that projection. We do the very thing that we say, the opposite of what we ask people to do. But my substantive contribution this morning has to do with the glimmer of hope in the Caribbean. Notwithstanding, there's many things to be shameful about. But when, as Caribbean government seeks to recognize their connection with the continent, especially West Africa, it's more than welcome. My difficulty seems as though they're just thinking in terms of money, rather than the full regeneration of the African spirit.
return home. When I say return home, I don't necessarily mean physically, but a reconnection to the motherland and also to its people, and also the cultivation of solidarity, which is totally lacking even among ourselves. You know, GT, I've noticed something been coming up in my mind lately. You know, we are afraid to use the word white in front of the white, somebody who is coined white. So if you're speaking, I've noticed over the years we are very frightened to use the word, even to refer to the person as white. But you know, we are quick to try to knock out one another by using words, you're black and ugly, and you're this and that. I mean, where black is not ugly, black is beautiful. Everything comes out from black. Everything comes out from darkness. From darkness, you have light. You didn't have light and then darkness. So, we have to, and that's where education comes back. We have to re-educate ourselves about who we are. We have let other people confuse our head, and it's sad. I'm not trying to say I'm superior, and I mean my way is the only way of seeing the world. But when I see our people struggling and fighting to be themselves, look at the amount of people bleaching, and look at the amount of people monkeying other people. I mean, it's sad, and everything that other people. And I'm saying that in inverted comma, other people give to us, we are quick to grab at it. Whether it's the medical situation, the medical so-called assistance that we get from those militaries. The other day when I talked about it, I said whether it's from the Americans or the Chinese, I mean, it's shameful if we understand that if we were allowed to develop our own process that was destroyed by the invasion, and I know you will I know I will be backed out after I'm finished. We would have been far ahead. Because
Paul, I still find it difficult to understand. From why do you think it's wrong for us to accept help from those from those particular departments?
No, what the military is an instrument of death. Please.
That's an opinion of yours, you understand, but all right.
No,
I respect that.
They're experimenting on us. We know the Tuskegee experiment with the black soldier. I mean, why are we so, blinded that we cannot be a little bit discerning? I'm not just against, trying to come out against because the American per se, but when you think about military is about killing people. And they come in and fool you and say they want to make you healthy. They're killing people all over the world, in Gaza, every place. And they're still trying to come and tell you. And you running like some, and I'm saying I'm guided by or influenced by a documentary I saw on 60 Minutes years ago about how so many people were affected by people who were trained under the U.S. Army as doctors and medical people. I know that's not the U.S. military, but I think we should stay away from, when it comes to health, from these facilities.
All right. Anyways, I'm going to ask you to take a wrap because we drew for a break. And always appreciate your contribution, sir. Thank you so much. Have a good morning. Hey, folks, let's take a break. When we come back, we continue more of your calls, 435-2041, 435-2041. We'll be right back after the break. Don't touch it out.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Time to get charged up for the Fuller Energy Home Series as West Indies takes on Australia in a fiery test match from July 3rd to 7th at the National Cricket Stadium from 10 a.m. each day. Free entry plus fun activities for children under 16 years old. Adult tickets start at just $5 per match day. Let's rally with the men in maroon. Go to windiescricket.com to secure your tickets now. West Indies is back in the spice aisle and we full of energy.
West Indies going higher, full of energy.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. It's an open line edition for today, Friday, the 20th day of June. Let's hear from you this morning. Your views, your concerns. Let's hear from you on our open line edition here. Let's go back to the phone line. We have a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you this morning?
Great. You know, I always believe that our parliamentary representatives must consult us, and we are the ones that have the final say. So I want to take this opportunity to invite people on behalf of servants of the people, on the most honorable Andy Williams, the parliamentary representative for constituency of South St. George, invites all the beautiful people of his constituency to what is called a vital strategic community consultation focused on shaping the future of that constituency under the theme moving forward 2030, getting there together. Now this consultation with the community, we have this coming Monday the 23rd of June at the Trade Center, commencing from 6:30 p.m. until 8:30. It is your constituency, people, and your right as stakeholders to shape the direction and destiny of the Great South. So I want to tell everybody that Andy's cordially inviting people, don't miss this opportunity. Please come to the Trade Center Annex this Monday, 6:30, and let your voices be heard. Sincerely yours, humble servant Andy. And also, he announces 20 scholarships for people in the area of early childhood education level 2, paralegal services, and marketing level number 2. This is the kind of representation we want, because Andy is going to meet all these constituent people. You're going to be able to talk and interact with. As a matter of fact, he is right now, what he's doing, he's going out to meet his constituency on Thursdays and different areas. Instead of people coming to see him in the constituency, you have to wait and make appointment. No, that eliminates appointment and longer frustration waiting. And I think that all constituents, people, all representatives, elected representatives should do that, because people always complain in JT that they don't see their representatives and they're using them and only the time and come for votes. So, and he's changing that mindset. He's changing. It's a game changer, that initiative. He's going to the people instead of the people coming to him every Thursday. And right now, on Monday, in the Trade Center, he'll be having that consultation where you can come and meet him and talk to him freely. And people, he's trying his best. He's not perfect, but I actually urge you to be responsible and stop spreading lies, propaganda, and it's false, malicious propaganda. And people, all you must just remember before you say things, say what all you could prove. So Andy is not perfect, but he has served his constituency with distinction, and he continues, and he's committed to the people of the constituency of South St. George.
And of course, he will continue to put them first. So come and talk to him on Monday and tell him everything and check for all you to, both of you all together, all the people of the constituency to chart the way forward, because you have this, it's your constituency and he's not supposed to dictate to you. You are supposed to dictate him and tell him what you want in your constituency. Thank you, JT.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. What's left of it, and have a good weekend to come. 435-2041. 435-2041. Open line edition of To The Point for today, Friday, the 20th day of June, folks. 20 days already within the month of June. We have a caller. Caller, your life. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning to you, sir.
No, my thing is directed at the Ministry of Agriculture, hopefully, land use policy.
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied that is acted upon actively enough. Too many, when I go around the countryside, too many areas that were producing nutmeg, cocoa, and so on, you've seen houses going up. True people need houses. We don't need a lot of these big, massive houses. What we need, most and foremost, is agriculture, because man must eat. Whether you have a house or not, you must eat. And we need to produce what we eat. As the revolution used to say, eat what you grow and grow what you eat. So the Ministry of Agriculture, whoever is responsible for the land use policy, should come out with a land use policy, because too many areas are being occupied by things that will not produce food in the end. That's one. And two, something I've noticed, vehicles have been parked. As soon as they fix a piece of road, you see vehicles park up on the side there. And I think we have to move like Japan. Before you buy a vehicle, you must have a place to park it, because that is obstructing traffic and putting pedestrians in danger, putting drivers under stress that shouldn't be there. And we have to come, because so many vehicles in this country now, we have to come with a policy that allows pedestrians to walk freely and at the same time doesn't restrict drivers too much. Because too many people have vehicles parked up all over the place, on corners and all about. And these things are producing problems for us. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you also, caller. Have a great day yourself and a good weekend to come. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's the number. If you want to be part of today's edition of To The Point, you have the opportunity to call in and express your views and concern, a particular issue or a concern that you may have. Let's hear from you. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, and how are you this morning?
All right. This is some of the supporters of the party that make things difficult for the party. For instance, the things that some people just go on Facebook and say, they know the damage in the party. Because sometimes you support NDC, but you have children. They won't support the party, they will support the other party. But when they listen to how much thing you saying about my family and Facebook, that alone could change my mind, and you lost a vote. So we must be careful with what we saying about people, especially to score points for your party. Because a lot of things that some of the supporters going online, I can't go online because I'm so bright. So out of that. But listening to the many statements that people making on Facebook, I'm lying to tell you, sometimes you just wonder if it's to support a party. So please, people, and sometimes you are they saying this person they running you down so much, and tomorrow when things grow 8 years go, these people married in your family, watching them living in your house, what you will do? So we have to be careful with what we say. Don't use this Facebook and think tomorrow you're going to score points, you're going to lose a lot of points. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your contribution. 435-2041. The lines are open to you. You have the option of the WhatsApp also. If you want to call in and express your views and concern this morning, feel free to do so via those mediums, either the Facebook, my apology, via the WhatsApp or the direct line, 435-2041. Those are the numbers you can use to call in. If you also have, of course, You may prefer to send a message via the WhatsApp. You also have that option of doing that also. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Permit me a few seconds or minutes. No.
I don't think I'll give you minutes, but I'll permit you. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, I totally agree to what this last caller said. Some people say things that they shouldn't say. And maybe why they say it is that they have been paid directly or indirectly to give news, whether it be propaganda, false propaganda. This is what, because imagine you every morning or as often as possible, you hear a particular lady promoting a minister. Let the minister promote himself by what he's doing. It seems to me as if he's been paid under the cover to propagate that particular minister. His goodness would be shown by what he is doing and what he has done. And this is what I cannot understand. A lot of us are doing things undercover, and people fail to realize those things. It's time that we get up and look into what is happening in Grenada and in other parts of the world. People promote people for their specific good. And this, we shouldn't do that. We should promote people for the good of the nation, the whole country. In fact, what I should think should have happened, you talk about agriculture, we should have imported or we say we are an agricultural country. We don't have gold, we don't have silver. Maybe we have, but nobody discovered it yet. And if we are an agricultural country, we should have had a lot of plants being imported to propagate into this country, whether it be dashing, tanya, bananas, in fact, fast-growing plants, not big, hard-growing trees. Coconut trees take about 5 years before it produces. But we should have get banana plants from other countries where we could get it in about 9 months' time or 6 months' time. And this is what we have to do. So some set of us, we're behind time. We're not ready yet. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Also, have a great day. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of today's edition of To The Point. We have an open line for today, Friday, the 20th day of June. Let's hear from you. Your views and concerns and issues. We still have approximately 30 minutes left on today's program. So you still have that option of calling in and express your views and concerns this morning. We go back to the phone line. You're live, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Caller, good morning. You're welcome. Go right ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Sir, I'm calling because I have a concern. It's been some years ago that a young lady would have been struck by a vehicle being driven by a Chinese diplomat on the Excel Plaza compound. And it's been about 3 years now, and you may never believe that she was never really attended to. She was never really compensated. She was given a vague offer by the insurance, about $5,000. And over the years, she's been suffering with constant pain in her leg, in her hip, in her back, because it actually hit her on the concrete path and threw her over where Master used to be. She was taken from the scene in a private vehicle driven by a police officer. An ambulance didn't come to receive her. And I mean, it's been a whole set of stuff that's been happening. And she's been trying to figure out who does she go to. She tried going to the minister, Mr. Telesford. Nothing came out of it. She went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it's like a runaround. She's just been pushed aside, go here, go there, and I'm hoping that somebody's listening that can provide some advice and guidance as to how can she address it and who can she speak to get some advice.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Certainly hope that we get a conclusion to that and that matter has been resolved. Of course, there was a level of conclusion, as you mentioned, there was some compensation, but maybe it was not adequate. 435-2041. 435-2041. The lines are open. We're moving up to just approximately 20 minutes, moving up before the top of that, which means we're due for a break. So let's take it. And when we come back inside with another segment of today's program. Stay with us, folks, on Touch It Out. We will be right back.
Legacy, a beat that don't stop like Bob Marley say. One love on top. DCUH water out of sight, but it's always wrong. Don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep. Cause mangoes and fish they weep. Green water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat. It's all good, man, you got the heat. Water flow. No clean water, no vibes they grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
Time to get charged up for the Fuller Energy Home Series as West Indies takes on Australia in a fiery test match from July 3rd to 7th at the National Cricket Stadium from 10 a.m. each day. Free entry plus fun activities for children under 16 years old. Adult tickets start at just $5 per match day. Let's rally with the men in maroon. Go to windiescricket.com to secure your tickets now. West Indies is back in the spice aisle and we Fuller Energy.
West Indies going higher, Fuller Energy.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. To the point here for today, Friday, the 20th day of June. We have an open line edition this morning, which means your phone calls are welcome to hear about your views, your concerns, and solutions. If you could certainly offer one, we certainly would like to hear that also. Let's go back to the phone line. We do have a caller. Caller, your life. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, JP.
Good morning to you, sir.
And how are you, sir?
Doing good. Doing good. How about you?
Well, I don't good at all. I have a big problem with what I heard just now on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
My walkway to home where I live, it's on a garage that I have to slide down in the drain. I'm elderly already.
What area you speak?
Make my way.
Or you wish to say the area you're at, precisely, what the area you're at?
Up in the country.
Up in the country.
St. Andrews.
All right. All right. I'm assuming you don't want to say specifically where.
You understand?
All right. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I have that problem, and it's something I talk about already. I say to even the owner, let us do it. I mean, go on the side. You have a big place where you could be on the side. But just make it easy for them. They just come up right up to the narrow spot and park me. And then I have the problem. catching my tail to move in and out when I have to. Well, they just make themselves happy. I mean, that is not nice.
But you said you have spoken to the individual who is causing you the problem or the concern that you have, and you've spoken to that individual and nothing was done about it?
Yes, I did that.
Have you tried speaking to anyone in authority in reference to that also? Was anything done on that level?
Well, I say one of the days I have to go to the police.
Yeah. Well, it's probably one of the next steps you may have to take. Take that particular step and see if you could get some solution to that. And
because
hopefully.
I just find that it's a part of ugliness, because it's got a space where you could just put it right yourself, just a little on the side, right yourself, and then you won't handbug nobody.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly try to get someone in authority to speak, either the police or someone, or your constituency representative or someone, have a conversation with yourself and the individual and see if you could get some solution to that, all right?
Some sort of solution. Make ourselves happy and don't care about what happens to the rest. And the thing about it is, that area don't concern the person, Don't concern the person, They just making a short way to get to their way,
All right. Anyway, hope you get some of course, some solutions to that. Hopefully sooner or later. As I mentioned, you may not want to go that direction. Hopefully not. But if you have to involve the police or so, you may have to do that to get some solution for that issue that you're experiencing today. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Yeah, GT,
and I beg of you to be brief. I beg of you to be brief, please.
The caller, I mean, in terms of that's a real problem all over the country. I mean, people are creating havoc for one another. That's one of the things that we have to address. In fact, one of the things that have been troubling me, especially coming out of the experience last year with Beryl, is what do we do about people with vehicles who have no way to put it when hurricane comes? We have seen what is possible in a hurricane. Hurricane wind could blow even trailers into the sky. What happens? So we need to address those things. We have tried to solve the problem with parking in the city. We have set up parking places that people can pay and so on. Maybe we have to think about that when it comes to disaster. I mean, hurricane in particular. How do we deal with that? Because people's life are in danger. Already, folks are doing things in their house with the houses or with the property that affect other people nearby. And I could talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good idea, caller. Probably someone in the various communities, individuals with property that are used for different purposes, they could use as a community parking lots of the sort. You understand?
Maybe we have to think about that, because we will have more deaths than anything else if we don't think about those things. The same thing we need to think about the proliferation of building tombs in cemeteries, when we have the continuing accidental threat on climate change and all that. So, I mean, there's so many things we need to really get straight in this place. But part of it is that we have to learn to respect each other and consider other people rather than just ourselves. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you also. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's the number to be part of today's edition of To The Point. We have approximately 15 minutes moving up before the top of the hour. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning, GT. I hope all is well.
All is well. All is well. How are you doing this morning?
I am well, thanks. I listened to somebody who I think is a retired teacher, and he was condemning certain things, and I'm saying, teachers, I believe, have all to be blamed. Yes, because the young people are products from different schools.
Yes.
The system probably. Why should we hear? Why should we hear in news? Would that make a teacher proud of a student if you hear in news that a partly decomposed body had to be declared dead by a doctor? I mean, so something is wrong in the method of teaching and common sense. And
I understand. If it's already decomposed, there's no other option.
Of course, you have to you have to die before
the body become decomposed, most likely.
And the words in the sentence said the body was partly decomposed.
Yes.
And the next sentence says it on the scene by a medical doctor. Teachers should really pick up where they are going wrong because children are leaving school without common sense. Even if that was put before you to read, your common sense should tell you, no, I must fix that. Yeah? So children must leave, people must leave school learning to reason and so on. Yeah? So the teachers know the system. So they are the ones now to spot where the system can be fixed, so that we'll have more sensible people leaving school, not just staying there now and looking back and criticizing them. No, they are products from school, and some of them probably went to school every day, and they would come out still not using common sense, okay? My other thing is that story of slavery. I'm an old senior citizen. I may not live to see the change, but it's being taught so very wrong. So very wrong. It is sad. Every time we talk about slavery, we kind of, in a subtle way, talking about, we're doing it like a racist thing. Black against white. Okay, white against black. But slavery, so then, aren't we aware that there were slaves in Grenada before the transatlantic slave trade? That issue, the issue of slavery, must really be taken in a holistic manner. You see, GT, when the colonial masters won Grenada in the war, and they banned the British people banned all things French. Even go to France became a curse word. You realize that, JT?
I'm understanding where you're coming from.
Old people used to say, "But go to France." Yes, so they lock off that part of our history, which we must not continue to encourage. They locked off that part of our history. When they came, they met estates and so. They met estates, they met slaves. The woman, Dr. Corinne Hoffman, she showed me the first slave pen in Grenada. In La Poterie, at La Poterie, they had a wronged slave pen. No, we must really teach the history properly and not just take it from one bit, because what we are doing is we're continuing to divide races, and in the Caribbean we are product from all different races. Yeah, so we're continuing now to push the Indians aside. They're not outside children. They came here as indented servants, and so they were part of our ancestors. When we speak of our ancestors, we always refer to the people from Africa. No, I believe the time has come to revisit that and let the young children understand. Don't keep making up history as we go along. Don't keep making up because we didn't like it. We ignore it and we cover it down and we're making up meanings and reason for jab and all this thing. No. Anyhow, thank you, GT.
Thank you also. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Certainly appreciate it a whole lot. There's always a lot to learn, and if Cam, you call in, let's go to the phone line once again. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, brother. Thank you. I didn't want to come back, but listen to this lady there, and people leaving school without common sense. Unfortunately, common sense comes before books. But one of the problems we have in our schools today is that most of the questions is, should this underline that number one, number two is A, B, C, or D. There is no composition. People are not made the right composition, so they have logical thinking process right in the composition. There is no analysis. When I did grammar in school, we had analysis. We had grammar. The verb to be and other copulative verbs take the same case before as after. This thing is gone. I remember when a certain chief education officer during the time of the revolution came to my class and he said, "You shouldn't be teaching grammar." And that has created a problem because because one of the students then he went to Cuba, and when he came back, he said, sorry, I didn't know the grammar, because when I was in Cuba, I had to do a whole set of grammar that I should have done under you. So we need to look at ourselves. Grenada has two languages. We have Grenadian and we have English. I remember in a situation where a few of us were talking and there was a stranger, a Canadian fella, and then he came and he said, translate. Because we were talking Grenadian. He didn't understand what we were talking about at all. So we have to be careful about how we look at ourselves. We have Grenadian and we have English. Because when you just go and say, underline this, say A, B, or C, or D, people are not prepared to think in a logical manner over 5 or 6 sentences. And if you listen to the songs that the guys sing for things now, it's 2, 3 words 1,000 times. And we have to change that approach to our system of education. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you a whole lot. And I concur with the caller. We have 2 languages. So yeah, it's either Grenadian or English. 435-2041. So I guess some folks take the choice which one they want to speak. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good.
Wonderful.
Caller, before you continue, please, there is a device in the background that is too loud. May you take the option of turning it down, please, or taking it off before you continue.
Okay, are you hearing me better now?
Go right ahead. Wonderful.
Wonderful. I want to congratulate this government for creating the environment for the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique to develop themselves, to develop their families, and even the communities in which they live. For instance, in agriculture, we have youth in agriculture. They can develop themselves, they can develop the country in food security and a lot of other things. We give them the initiative to assist the farmers, the fisher folk, and livestock in general. I want to also congratulate them in creating the creative art for the business industry. And in education, many scholarships are available for our young people at all ages, not just young, but middle-aged and the elderly. Scholarship desk, as never before, has opened up. So I want to congratulate the government. For the past 3 years, the government is doing very well, and not for just individuals, not for NDC, not for NMP, but the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Most of us are very proud to see a number of things that is happening in Grenada. And it's not, as I said, for individual politics, it's for Grenadians in general. We have jobs, better jobs. We have, for the past 3 years, we have seen a number of initiatives on the part of the government. So I want to take the opportunity as we enter into 3 years, just 3 years, and we could list a whole series of things that has been happening and given the people of Grenada to work with to make their lives better. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041. We still have a couple more minutes left on today's program, which means we can accommodate a couple more calls. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you, sir.
Greetings. How are you? I trust that is all well with you, Mr.
Yes,
Telesford. I've been sitting here for the past hour, well, a little less, and I've been listening. These days, I normally don't talk very much, but I'm being so disgusted with the majority of things that I've been hearing on this radio this morning. Sends a very powerful signal to me, Mr. Telesford, sir. We're tied up. We jam up. We seize, Mr. Telesford. And I want to go along the area of mechanical engineering, which is where I am. My activities and my employment and so on were focused. And I want to look at 2 words, Mr. Telesford, quickly, if I may speed up my speech a bit. Viscosity. What is viscosity? Resistance to flow, Mr. Telesford, not what you call it, telecommunication. No. Movement of the elements and of the substances. Resistance, viscosity. You know what? If you're too thick, you can't move, Mr. Telesford. If you're too fat, you can't move. The other one is this friction. What is friction? Resistance to movement, Mr. Telesford. If the bolt is tight, what it fastens cannot move. And if two surfaces rush each other that have to work that way, it has to be lubricated to avoid friction. Because if you have friction, you will have wear. And everything will crash, Mr. Telesford. I wonder if you're seeing where we're going, Mr. Telesford.
I'm following, sir.
Why is it we jam up, Mr. Telesford? Why is it we so viscous? Why is it we create so much friction and lack of movement? Because we are not free, Mr. Telesford. We need freedom. But how can freedom come? It has to come from the people. They have to understand what it is, real freedom. We tied on the colonial system. I don't want to go into that. But we tied on, because that's a subject matter in itself. But yet, we want to be free. The colonial master has us in the grip. We're ruled by a king, but yet we're free. It is impossible for us to be free, to develop our own, to move forward, to reduce the viscosity, Mr. Telesford, and to reduce the friction that we can really flow and move and develop. What causes that as we move a little faster? Our leadership, the system and our leadership. We hear so many things about the people of this country, and the same thing you hear repetitively, over the years. The same complaint. Nothing is happening, nothing is changing. Because we lack leadership to guide the people. Get on the public public television and talk to the people and orientate them. We lack them. The only time in our history is 1979 to 1983. Long live this period, and I wish it comes back, save and except the hypocrisy and the deceit of those who spoil it. But that is what we need. Brothers and sisters, open your eyes. Free yourselves. What another reason for that, Mr. Telesford? Because of DQ. You hear it. We spoke about this country born in deceit, hypocrisy, injustice, corruption, and untrustworthiness. Where untrustworthiness encompasses dishonesty, unreliability, and incompetence. From the leadership, Mr. Telesford, such country have nowhere to go. That is why we are as we are. Open your God, bless these Grenadians, and let mine be the God-damned ones. For what it's worth, Mr. Telesford, do have a nice day, will you?
Same goes out to you, sir. Have a good one and a great weekend to come. 435-2041. We have just around 40 minutes moving up before 10 o'clock this morning. We still could accommodate one more call if it comes really quickly, or two. If it comes really quickly, we could accommodate these calls here on today's program before we take a wrap for today. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's a number. I hope we haven't exhausted all of the calls thus far, but we seem to have one, which may be our final caller for the morning. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you very much. It's just a sad state, ASS. You know, Jesus rode on a ASS? Amazingly, we are in a sad state. We are very much in a sad state, listening to all the callers, all the comments, all the goodies, all the whatnot. We have to try to run away from the colonial system. And we have to it is written and centuries ago, because I'm not a religious person, to be honest. I don't go to church. I'm not affiliated to any particular religion. Unfortunately, 1 year ago, I managed to obtain a Bible, the sacred scriptures, and the Bethel edition. And of course, I'm enjoying this. And I'm seeing it plainer than I used to see it earlier on in my life in the King James Version. But our Constitution, and we have to start first of all with the 10 Commandments. And then there are many other statutes and ordinances and whatnot that go down. I am very much appalled. I'm very much disappointed. I'm very much confused because there are so many anomalies, and where we should be laying our head and concentrating on how to get things done. We more or less keep fighting one another as a tribal war or something. You know, in John, I mean, I don't want to get myself trying to pretend to be some kind of pastor. But it is written, man. It is written, man. Hypocrites, parasites, you know, those with an authority and just take advantage on those who are, you know what I mean? I am speaking here from many different angles. In a wheelchair, and unfortunately, I mean, I have about 6 different corns in my hands because I'm a hard-working farmer, using the cutlass, the fork, the spade, the whatnot. And the way I'm being treated in this country here for the past 50, 60 years, I mean, all of my life, you know, I've been threatened. It's time for us to put down the sort of a hatred, the confusion, the chaos, the mayhem, the whatnot, etc. Because, I mean, what? A nuclear something might just turn up. We don't know. So let's try to live in love and harmony. All those in authority.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Wrangling, the political wrangling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Hey, folks, that's where we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank all who called in on today's program. It was an open line and give you the opportunity to call in and share your views and concern. And those of you who did, I want to thank you so much. Folks, it's our final edition for this week. Join me again next week for another edition of To The Point. Best wishes goes out to you for the rest of the day and a great weekend to come. Stay with Classic Radio and GBN TV. We're coming right back with much more. Stay with us, folks. Goodbye.